All right, I believe I'm live, y'all. I believe I'm live. I can see one thing I need to do right now before we get too far into this live stream. Clean my camera off. It might help things get a little clearer around here anyway. We'll give it a few minutes here, let some people get on live. I didn't schedule this in advance, so if you're watching this after the fact, don't worry about it because I didn't give a heads up to people. I just kind of go live occasionally if I got cell phone service. It's always the biggest factor on going live is if I got enough service not to buffer. Hopefully I do out here. We'll see. I'm just sitting here watching rods this morning, y'all. But yeah, early morning here. I think it's 8:30ish. And just decided to go live. I didn't really feel like filming a regular video this morning. So sometimes you just don't want to talk to a normal camera and fool with all the GoPro and stuff. It's a whole lot easier just to talk to a telephone here in front of a viewing audience. Let's see this chat box, see if we got anybody in there. There's Homer White, Marlon K. Homer said he used some of my tips and caught some catfish yesterday. That's awesome, man. Glad it's working out for you. There's Two Stroking and Cody Bogus. We're getting a few people in here now. A notification thing in people's email must be going off. People realizing I'm live. Fleming's Outdoor Adventures. There's Daniel, Catfish Sumo. He said, dude, the world is asleep. True story. Early bird gets the worm, my friend. I'm competing with the Andy Griffith show on the ratings this morning. That's the only other show on right now. Andy Griffith, Matlock. Hey, Jalen, glad you like the shirts, man. TJ Taylor said he's a county worker, so this should help the time go by. I hope so, man. We got a bunch of people getting in here now. There's Douglas Medlin. He said, can't fish, but he's here. Glad to have you in here, buddy. Got Nathaniel Ambrez from Miami. I thought it was hot up here. I bet it's scorching down there in Miami right now. Y'all, I'm just out here, for those of you tuning in, and right now I'm fumbling with my motor thing there, but anyway, for those of you just tuning in, or for those of you watching this video after the fact, after it's done been live, I'm just kind of goofing off this morning. I'm going to be doing some different kind of fishing here about mid-morning till lunchtime, but out here first thing, I'm after whatever wants to bite, catfish or carp. I'm using some pack bait. That one right there, just like that, just like that. Oh boy, we hooked up right away. Did he come off? No, he's still on there. Just like that, y'all. Just like that. Let's reel one in for the viewing audience there. Other thing I'm doing out here this morning is playing with a new toy. Well, I got to reel some, there we go. Get him out of that. I don't want him getting in that other line first thing. I got me some power poles for the kayak, so I don't have to rely on shore access anymore. It's like this little cove I'm in here. There ain't nowhere I can pull up on the bank and I'm gonna be able to get out and either have room to fight fish and stuff and cast without overhanging trees, or just not be in a snake infested area. So I got two power poles on the kayak and they do sway me a little bit, as you can see. But it's not so bad that it ain't manageable. It ain't like having one power pole where I'd just be at like a weather vane out here. Oh yeah, that's a nice carp right there. Nice. That's a hell of a way to start the live stream. What are we, 2 or 3 minutes into this thing? All right. I've got me a net ready over here. Why don't you come in here and say hi to the audience, Carp? We might dedicate you to somebody. Get on over here. Listen here, he's got a sore on the side of his head. Oh, get in there. Oh, I missed him, y'all. I need one of y'all to come through that screen and be my net man. These nets, y'all know I ain't good with the net. I like using my hand, but on these carp, they ain't got nothing to grab hold of. They a tough fish to lip. Listen here's tore up, man. He's wound. He is wound up. Fish, I'll make you famous if you come here. Get in that net. There he is. All right. Oh boy, he still ain't done, is he? All right. Let me get this out of the way. And then I'll set my camera up here. Look at this. I'm prepared and everything, y'all. I had a little time to get prepared. Got my camera up there in front of me. Lordy day. There's a super chat. That's Brian Stivers? Butchering your name, Brian. He just gave me a 20 spot. This fish is for you, Brian. This right here. I'm gonna dedicate the first one to Brian here for hooking me up with that super chat right as I was setting my phone up. That was good timing, my man. This fish ain't done though, man. He's still wound up. Brian, come in here and get your fish under control now. Let's get hold of this thing. Get that hook out of him. All right, hook's out. Now let's see if I can get him up here. Well, Brian, I don't know how to say your last name, but thanks for the super chat. I'll read it here directly. And that fish is for you, buddy. He's got a spot on his head. I may have to take some of that $20 you give me and buy him a Band-Aid to cover that sore up. Get him some Valtrax for what looks like a herpy there. All right, get out of here, my carp. Well, skunk's out, y'all. That's a live stream fishing show's worst nightmares, going live for an hour or two and not catching a fish. I've been there and done that. So the fact that we are 7 minutes in and already got the first and gone. Whoosh, relief. All right, let me get some more pack bait on. I got panko, strawberry jello, and sweet corn today. It's kind of become my favorite carp bait because it just keeps working. Catches some catfish too. I've been surprised at how many catfish, both blues and channels. You know, I figured the channels might eat it, but the blues, they like this stuff too. I don't know how many catfish we're going to find back here in these shallow waters. I know there's some carp here and I saw some gar on the way in. There's a bunch of shad in this pocket too. But I don't know about the catfish. We're just real shallow. Let me, y'all stare at my crotch a minute while I get this bait cast back out. Making women's dreams come true with that angle. Probably some weirdo men out there enjoying that shot too, but we get that line cast back out, we'll be back in business. All right, let's start reading some of these comments now that we got that old first fish out of the way. Y'all just don't know what a relief it is to get that first fish. There's been too many times where I've been live where it took forever to get it or just didn't come at all. I've been skunked on live stream before, so that first one's always a big deal. All right, let me scroll back up. Where'd Brian's comment go? Where the hell's he at? There's one of my club members, Eddie Damon Fitzgerald Richards. Yeah, good morning to his fiance Paula there, man. Congratulations on your upcoming nuptials. There's Bishop, he's in New Zealand. Now we're past his bedtime. Brokeback Bob. Where the heck? I've lost Brian's comment. Oh, there it is. There's Brian's comment. He says, getting very close to putting the kayak in the water. How are you now? I'm doing well, Brian. Thank you so much for the super chat. The first fish was for you. We're off to a good start here this morning. I'm fairly late getting out here this morning, but it's we're off to a good time anyway. Sean, the fish guy. Oh, he's got a good question here. I've had this before, y'all. He says, I remember a while back you posted you don't need $100 rods to catch fish, and now you got your own rod priced over $100. What happened? Honest question. Well, nothing really changed, Sean. You don't need a $100 rod. I used $40 ugly sticks for years. They get the job done. But if you want a good quality rod with good components, and especially my signature series rod that can function in multiple ways. It is a kayak rod with a short handle, which is different than anything on the market. You will not find a true kayak catfishing rod from any other company. But it can also be a bank rod with a surf handle extension. So it's got you covered multiple, again, do you need it? No, you can catch fish. I've caught fish with clearance rack rods from Academy. But if you want a good quality rod, my rod is it. And unfortunately, good quality costs money. That's just the way it is. So there's the answer to that question. You're a little late asking it though. I've been hit with that question 112 times at least the last few months. Let's see. Zach M has joined the club. Thank you so much, Zach. Glad to have you on board. And we got Dominic Hollis. He is rejoined, I guess. I got the notification there from him. That's awesome, man. Glad to have you. Oh, look right here. Look right here. Hey, Zach. I was about to dedicate that one right there to Zach. He hit it. Zach, tell your fish to bite right there, man, before I turn this camera back around. He tugged on it, didn't he? That was the one we just cast back out too. Well, Zach, we may have missed your chance on a fish right there, buddy. I was trying to get your membership going with a bang here. Maybe he'll come back for it here in a minute. Good morning, Corey Goodwin. We got A&W Outdoors in the house. Huffy Outdoor Adventure. There's Joe Norton with a $4.99 super sticker. Says keep it up. Well, thanks, Joe. I'm going to try. Hopefully we're going to get some fish out here this morning before it gets hot. And then I'm going to go do a different kind of fishing today that I got a hot tip about. It'll either work out or it won't. If it does, y'all see it in an upcoming video. Coop said he's leaving the live stream due to the crotch shot. Well, hopefully the other weirdos left with him. Pure Catfish, $4.99, he says. How's that new idea that you and Daniel are working on? And do you have an ETA? I don't, but Daniel was in the chat box here a little while ago. Maybe he can chime in on that. I haven't talked to him about that since, well, that day I fished with him on the live stream. I've seen him since then. We fished together one more time, but I don't remember us talking about that particular project. I was pitching him some more ideas of things that I want, but just can't seem to get. Hopefully he's going to be able to make happen at some point. But no, to answer your question there, I don't have a good ETA right now. The wheels are grinding too slow for my needs. I know that. Pure Catfish, that's for sure. When I want something, I want it now. Hey, Water Rat Lyle just got engaged, y'all. Lyle, congratulations, and I'm sorry, whichever's most appropriate. Could go either way. Hey, Frank Shadley, thanks for watching and thanks for commenting, man. There's Russell Smith in the house. Bud Brutus, man, heck yeah, 1999. He says, hey, Justin, when the camera's not rolling, have you ever caught drum using pack bait? I have not, bud. That's one of them things that I thought I might catch some of. I thought I might catch them drum on the stinger flies too on my catfish rigs, but none yet. It's they out here in good numbers for whatever reason. though. I just haven't got them. Thank you for that super chat there, bud. Though I really appreciate that, man. Y'all loading me up first thing this morning. Stephen Harris says the Golly Whopper rod is a game changer, especially for kayakers. I like the variable length handle. Thank you, Stephen. I'm glad you like it, man. I love it. I mean, just having the shorter handle in the kayak, you don't know how much you love it until you try it. It's just, it's amazing. These normal catfish rods on the market with the long handle, they're made for standing up, which it just isn't what we do in a kayak, you know. But these companies don't want to make a short handle rod because it really limits their sales. And that's where me and Catfish Sumo got together and was like, well, let's just combine the two. Let's make them both in the same rod so people have one rod that can cover all the bases and be the perfect rod for whatever application that you're using it for. So glad you like it, Stephen. Well, I'm way behind in it. We've been live for 15 minutes and I'm already a mile deep in comments here that I'm behind on. That's a good problem to have, though. I'm glad, man, we got 271 people in here at 8:45 in the morning when I didn't even announce this. This is pretty cool. There's Gary Wormy Rich. Hey, right there you go, Pure Catfish. Daniel, Catfish Sumo, says sample in production for the Super Topic Secret one. Awesome. Hopefully I'll have some prototypes here soon. There's Jeffrey Dean in the house with a 20 spot. He says, I noticed you had mono on your drifting reels. Any particular reason? Thank you for the super chat, Jeff. I switched over to mono a few years ago, Jeff. I'm gonna have to take a break here on answering your question. We got another fish on. We got another fish on right there. Oh boy, he's splashing around up there. I was going to dedicate this in a minute ago when he first hit to Zach M, who joined the Catfish Club today. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that since this fish got around to finally biting. This is the same rod that we caught the other one on. Now, here's the battle, y'all. Here's the battle. I got 4 rods out. And I'm trying to keep him out of these other rods, and I did not succeed in that. Zach M, if you're still watching, buddy, your fish has caused me some problems. First thing, he went under that line. That's good. Let's do some finagling here and steer him this way. If he'll just keep going to the left, we're good. As long as he don't get in them trees over there. I come into this pocket this morning, y'all. The water's tore up over here. And so that's where I've kind of cast my baits. I got one super shallow over here in the margins, and these other 3 are kind of in the area where the water's tore up. And this is 2 carp and however long we've been live now, 15, 20 minutes. Oh hell, my power poles are, well, they swung pretty good ways around that time. This bottom here is real soft, so they may give a little bit. I'm trying out them dual power poles today because this particular pocket is just unfishable from the bank right now. There's nowhere I can pull up a kayak and have decent access. And with these carp, you kind of need, I feel like, and somebody will prove me wrong probably, but I feel like you need your lines to be still down there. They don't want a moving bait to spook them. Come here, carp. You done now. You done. I want you getting this here net. I don't know if Zach M's still watching, but he joined the club today. And he wants to see you. I tell you, when they get these carp up here to the kayak, I feel like they get a second wind here, y'all. I feel like they get another round of energy. I'm just hanging on. We own your time here, carp, don't worry. A normal video, I edit this part out, y'all. But when you live, there's no edits. Okay. Oh, that's a good one, man. That's a good one right there. Boy, that's a good fish. Woo! All right, y'all, fish number 2 in the kayak. Set that camera up there. Woo. This is this fish right here is solid, y'all. I gotta get him out of this net. Get this hook out. Bear with me, y'all. Look at the top of my head. Nice hat there, Kayak Catfish hat, available at catfishsumo.com. Code word kayak, get you 10% off your order every time. No, no, no. He's wound. He's still wound up, man. I should have let him play out another 10 minutes or so, I guess, here. I ain't ever gonna get this dang hook out of him. My pliers here. Get that hook out, I'll be feeling a lot better about things. I don't want that thing in me. It's a small hook, but I ain't looking to get pierced today. I ain't that kind of fella that's into all that piercing and stuff. Okay. Well, my camera's crooked. Y'all, that's from Zach M., new Catfish Club member. That rod got hit right as I was reading his membership thing, and then it went slack. So this fish come along and gobbled up what was left. Nice. Well, that's 2. Both pretty good quality fish, too. My parapoles are back there. I'm about to do something with them, y'all, before I get back to the comment box, before I cast that line back out. That fish right there spun me pretty good ways. And I don't know enough about these parapoles. I got the dual setup, so hopefully I wasn't going to spin. Watch this. This is high tech right here, y'all. Fancy right there. Fancy. Fancy like the Applebee's. Uh-oh. We got us a malfunction, y'all. That one's going down. I don't know what the heck's happened with the other one over there. One of y'all come fix my parrot pole, would you? Doggone it. Ain't nothing better than being live and have something go wrong. Technology, man. I'm gonna put this camera back in my chest here so that we don't go knocking it overboard when I get back here to try to finagle that. I think it's just come out of the... There it goes. I think it's just a little wobbly right there. Yeah, drive me down in the ground there, parapole, and I want you to hold better than what you done on that last fish too. Okay, we're back in business now. Technology, folks. Technology. Let me set this back up here and get another bait cast out. Doggone it. When you live, folks, when you live, things go wrong. Hopefully these parapoles, though, I've got high hopes for them. Very expensive gadget for the kayak, but I'm really into doing this right now. And it's so frustrating to have so many places that I want to fish and just have nowhere that I can pull the kayak up on the bank. And I'm hoping these parapoles are going to let me be able to access these places. And I've tried stakeout poles in the past. I'd bought some stakeout poles last year and they just didn't hold. You know, I was getting pulled loose and stuff. And a lot of the places that I fish, This fish has ran knots around my dag. It's always something, folks. It's always something. But a lot of the places, I was trying to say, a lot of the places I fish have real hard bottoms. And them stakeout poles just wasn't, I just couldn't get them down deep enough into the bottom to hold. And I was getting pulled loose all the time. And, you know, a normal anchor setup, like a 2-anchor system, you're getting back and forth, too much pull. When you're getting hit with boat wakes and wind and stuff, you're getting spun around too much. So I thought, I'm gonna try these power poles. Let me get me some more pack bait on here. What was that guy's name that got offended a little while ago when I stood up to cast and he saw my crotch? I'm about to offend him again. Let me turn this way. Get the hip shot. We'll get the booty shot for this one. All right, we cast back out again. I'm gonna slide this rod back over. Set that back out. All right, let me get back to the chat here. Boy, it's fun reeling in them fish anyway, man. These carp, they fighting hard today. They fight hard every day. I'm way behind in the chat, y'all. I apologize. Lord, we got some of them spammers all up in here. Let me hide that one. Them spammers are getting ridiculous, y'all. They've been tricking people on my channel into giving them money, pretending to be me. Where'd I lose? Well, I'm so far behind in the chat, y'all. I apologize. Okay, there was Bud's comment. Let me scroll down. I had a big one from somebody here. Who is that? Okay, there's Jeff. Oh, I was answering Jeff Dean's comment when that fish hit. I use mono. I switched to mono a few years ago because I wanted one line that could do it all. If I was bank fishing, mono gives you the abrasion resistance. If I was suspending baits, another advantage of the mono is when your fish gets you wrapped up and tangled up in your lines, the mono comes undone, the braid gets all knotted up and stuff. So I just wanted one line that I could be the perfect line for whatever I was using. The braid is good for, you know, packing a lot of line on smaller reels, but I was like, I'm just gonna get me some bigger reels and be done with it. So hopefully that answered your question there, Jeff. Sorry that fish was so rude and interrupted you right when I got to it. We had a, where, 99.99, holy cow. My man Ed from Oklahoma, he says, thanks for going live, catch some big ones this morning. Thank you so much, Ed. Ed, again, y'all, longtime supporter of my channel. His daughter's as cute as she can be. And they out there in Oklahoma watching this morning. Thank you so much, Ed. It's early out there. I bet he's 2 hours behind me. Now he's out there watching and you awesome, Ed. Thank you so much, man. David Voss says, you're a good fisherman. Nobody cares about crotch shots. All the fish are naked anyway. Johnny Robbins, no, I ain't had no luck on the buffalo lately. Just that one on a recent trip there. Let me scroll on down here and hit some of my club members and these super chats, see if I can get caught up here. There was Coop 499. He was the one about my crotch. He says, I'm not a weirdo. I resent that statement. Well, why are you giving me money for, Coop? Lord, I'm offending him and he's still giving me money. I need to say more offensive stuff. Thank you so much for that, Coop, though. Daniel said the signature bidet should be ready soon, and here's another fish that's ready right now. I'm gonna dedicate this one to my man Ed from Oklahoma here. If he still got it, Ed, is he coming at me? Ed, your fish here, he's got my bait. Watch this. Oh, I pulled it out. He had it all right. Well, Ed, that fish said he was a Texas football fan, I guess, because he didn't want to be dedicated to nobody from Oklahoma. Let's try it again here. Let me get another round of bait going on. I gotta fix my line on that other one over there too. It's got all cattywampus. I'm gonna go ahead and do that before I get back to the chat, because if I don't, then I'll forget about it and it'll just be over there all jacked up. I wanted to have one over here like almost on the shoreline, just a few inches deep. But a lot of times them carp are right up on the shoreline. Give me another handful of the good stuff here. I come out the other day, y'all, after carp fishing, and of course I drop a lot of these breadcrumbs and corn and stuff here in the kayak. I had ants everywhere. they were all over the kayak. They had set up shop. We'll throw that right over there, see what that'll do for us. If nothing else, if one hits that rod, we shouldn't have to worry about it swimming into any other lines. Get that line tightened up. All right, where was I at? I know we had talked to Ed. We had blocked some spammers. Let me just scroll up to, well, there were some more spammers. I don't know what's going on. YouTube needs to get that under control. Because the spammers, they went from posting links to phone numbers, and people were texting it thinking they had won prizes because they had stole my profile pic and some other YouTubers, and they made accounts that made it look like it was us communicating with people, and then they were asking to send money to ship fake prizes. So I don't know what's up with it. Hey, there's Pontoon Jody in the house. What's going on, Jody? Sorry I'm so far behind in the chat, y'all. Let me scroll on down. I don't want to miss any of these super chats, and after a while they disappear. There's Tom in with a 10 spot. He says, I finally made a live stream. Hope everyone's having a great day. God bless you all and catch a whopper. Well, thank you, Tom. We're off to a pretty good start here. We got a couple fish already. Had another bite a minute ago. Jim in the house. Trophy Seeker Outdoors. Wait for Bob. Rayon Duplessis. What's going on, man? We got some people watching from all over the world today. Dwayne's Outdoors says, love catching carp, but they gross him out. Russ St. Pierre has a great question I'd like to know. He says, can you sync both power poles to one remote? That would be awesome if I could. I'm going to have to look into that. I didn't know if that was a possibility or not. Hey, there's Mark with Catfish and Crappie. Morning, man. Dwayne's Outdoors with $9.99. Thank you, Dwayne. No comment. Well, let me scroll down here and see if he left a comment under there. I don't see it. Well, thank you for that super chat, Dwayne. NJ Fishing Maniacs says, looks like a hair rig with a bully. Am I wrong? It's a hair rig with fake corn. I got 2 pieces of Enterprise fake corn on there. Happy birthday, William Clark, man. Sorry you got to work. me scroll down. How far am I? There, hell far. There's Ed with another 1999. He says, no respect. I'll tell you, Ed, these carp today, they're Texas or Texas A&M. They might be, I don't know. I don't know if you're Oklahoma or Oklahoma State fan out there, but they might be whichever one you like. They like the opposite of. But that fish, he wasn't getting caught and having me dedicate him to you. That's for dang sure. These fish, they know. When they hear me say they're being dedicated to somebody, they know right away. There was a gar I saw right over there off camera. That's another thing. I'm curious if I ever hook one on accidentally, if a gar will eat any of this corn on the pack bait. Gobbler's about to go to a car auction. But he's about to pay a premium today. Levi Williams says, my mom told me no subscribing to any channel. Your mom's a smart lady, Levi. You should listen to her. Good advice right there. Always listen to your mama. There's Dwayne's Outdoors. He's back with another $1.99. He says, love your stuff, bro. Well, thank you, Dwayne. I love that you love it. Hey, Sandra in the house, Florida Channel Catfish, and says, looks like you need to scrub that kayak. That's the truth, Sandra. It's looking rough right now. People keep asking me to do like an updated walkthrough video with, you know, because I got the motor and the live scope, and now I've just added the power poles and stuff. But for me to do an updated video, I'd have to wash this kayak. So that's why I keep putting it off. I don't want to wash it. That's a lot of elbow grease and an hour of my time to get this thing clean again. Douglas said them crotch shots, what got the spammer started? You're probably right. I'm probably better than anything you'll see on their website there, Douglas. I thought that rod right there was getting hit again. I might be imagining things, or it might be a turtle over there or something messing around on that pack bait. Hellfire, I lost my spot again. There we go. Trendkill 91's got a good question. He says, recently bought an original chopstick and reel through your description. Although the reel is nice, I feel it is a little undersized for your rods. Your thoughts? Yeah, Trendkill, I'm using 3000 series rods, or 3000 series reels on these rods. And they are a little small, you know, for the size of the rod, but not really small for what I'm doing, because these are primarily my carp, and I don't anticipate getting huge catfish with these rods. So, you know, they hold enough line and have enough drag for my needs. So I didn't really want to go with a larger, heavier, more expensive reel for, you know, what I'm using for in this application. Now, if you were using them for larger catfish, or you needed, you know, more line capacity, if you were making longer casts, definitely get a bigger reel. But, you know, for what I'm doing here today, they're perfectly fine for this. Thanks for using the link, though, by the way. Appreciate you doing that. Here was another one from Sandra. Oh, she left me a comment and a super chat with a comment. Sorry, Sandra. I saw your comment on up in the chat box there, because I'm so far behind, and I just saw your super chat. Thank you for that. Brokeback Bob says, Justin, Miss Jody, and Mark from Catfish and Crappie should be moderator. You know, that's a good idea, Brokeback Bob. As soon as I come across their comments again, there's Jody. Hey, Jody, congratulations. You're now a moderator. Welcome to the lowest paying job you ever had. Let me see if I can find Mark there with Catfish and Crappie. There he is. Oh, he's already a moderator. I already had him hooked up. Yeah, Jody, congratulations. You now have the wrench beside your name. Job pays nothing, but you're highly valuable to this organization. Russell Smith says, Justin, I want to know how your Tennessee team let the Longhorns steal a Manning from y'all. We can't afford a Manning these days here in Tennessee, buddy. It's hard times. Hard times around here. With the whole NIL, we ain't going to be able to compete anymore. We got the Haslams, our biggest booster, and they own the Browns and Pilot gas stations, and they all time in some kind of lawsuit battle, so I don't know if they can buy us any good players anymore. Not that we'd be able to coach up any good players anyway. Gillard 2020, he's got a long paragraph comment. Oh, he's talking about religious stuff. We ain't gonna get into all that crap on here. I'll be running people off left and right. We get into that. Wait for Bob says, Justin, how well do you think those power poles would hold up to a sumo-sized cat? I hope we find out, Bob. I wouldn't mind finding out today, but we'll see how it goes. It may pull them loose. I think these power poles are supposed to. I think they're supposed to automatically go down more, like if I'm getting hit with boat wake or getting rocked or something. I think it's called C-Tug or some kind of a computer thing in them now. I don't really know. I'm just getting used to them. I may, if I like them, I may end up buying the battery packs. Right now, I've just got them wired here to another battery in this box, and you know, I didn't want to. The battery packs are really expensive. They're like $200 each, and I didn't want to put that kind of money into them until I knew I was going to like the power poles and make sure I was going to be using them a lot. But like, really, this pocket here is a prime example of why I wanted these power poles. Because you look down through here and it's all overgrown. The only place that I could get on the bank is maybe right here. There's a little clearing. But then you got these overhanging trees that I couldn't make a cast around. And I'm gonna be all snake infested up here. These reeds right here, I could pull the kayak back up in that probably. But the water's deep enough, I'm gonna be over my boots, or I'm gonna be out there in flip-flops with snapping turtles and snakes and all that. And so when I come into places like this, you know, there's carp in here, probably catfish. I've seen shad and stuff, but it's like, how do you fish it and keep the kayak still? So from that aspect, I thought the power poles might be worthwhile. Here's another spammer I'm about to get. Hide user, got it. Got that one quick, saw that and pop right up. So anyway, that's the story with the power poles. Very expensive toy, but if it helps me catch some fish and get some more videos, then hopefully it'll be worthwhile. Billy Luss said, this is Justin with Kayak Carp. Heck yeah, man. I'm into the carp fishing, y'all. I've went down the rabbit hole. I watch more carp fishing videos on YouTube right now than anything else, just trying to learn new rigs and all that, you know, trying to get caught up on this stuff. Zach McKnight says, what advice can you give me for trying to take my 4-year-old to catch a carp from the bank at a local pond? He says, I got the pack bait and hair rig, anything specific I can do to get one to the bank. I'd bait the area, man. Throw you out some of that pack bait into the water, or some dog food or horse feed if it's legal there, and get them fish stirred up. Once them fish, it seems like after an hour or so, if you've got bait out, they'll get turned on and really start eating. Oh, there's another one. Okay, that one's already been hid. Spammers out of control this morning, y'all. Here's Tom in with a 10 spot. He says, Tennessee got Rico for $8 million. Some say he's better than Arch Manning. Well, that Manning pedigree though, buddy, you can't go against the Manning bloodline now. Peyton's the best thing that ever happened to Tennessee. And they say his brother was the best Manning of all. I don't know if they just saying that to be nice, but I think Arch is his son. Cooper, I think it was, that got hurt or whatever and couldn't end up playing. Nevertheless, he'll be kicking our ass here in a few years. When I can't remember when Texas and Oklahoma's coming to the SEC. I can't remember. Josh Carney says carp fight as hard as any fish. That's the truth. They're definitely one of the harder fighting fish that we have here where I live. There's Ruger in the house. What's going on, Ruger? Gary West said, did you get the power poles for free? I did not. I bought them. I wish. I ain't got any hookups on the power poles. There's Dwayne's Outdoors 199. He said, killed the crappie and gills with those gulp, man. That's awesome, man. I wish more people would give it a shot. I did some crappie fishing yesterday and got a bunch with the gulp. I found a brush pile there with the live scope and wore them out. Brokeback Bob says he's watched every video that I have made. He says, please watch all the videos, comment, and like, and most of all, subscribe. Well, thanks, Bob. Bob literally has watched every video I've put out and commented on every video I've put out. He went last year and was going watching a few every day and commenting. I kept seeing him pop up. Wait for Bob says, I want to kick these spammers in the throat. Me too, man, me too. Y'all should see what shows up in my held for review thing every day, every time I post a video. The ones with the phone numbers are the ones that really pisses me off because they're getting money from people. Some of my audience is falling for it, and I've had other people comment to me for YouTubers that I know, asking me, is like, are they for real right now, or am I getting ripped off? So it's unfortunate. Hopefully YouTube will get them under control here soon. Kyle Withrow says, what kind of knots do you use? Well, it depends on the rig. So on these rigs today, I've just got clinch knots, and then I've got the pre-tied hair rigs. On my catfish rigs, I use a no-knot snail down to my hook, and then clinch knots to the swivel. Luther Morgan said, you need one pole in the back and one in the front to keep from sweating. Yeah. Then you got a pole in the front, and I got the motor up there. There's nowhere to put it up front. So ideally, two in the back would keep you from swaying because they'd be, on each side back there. But we're just going to work with what we got. Charles Raby says, you can catch all our pond carp. I've been shooting them. I saw bow fishermen yesterday, too. Them bow fishermen are more and more around here. Figures when I get into carp fishing is when we're going to have a lot of bow fishermen show up. Chase says, any desire to cook and eat your carp? No, Chase. I'd get a ton extra views if I did that crap, but no, I have no desire to do it. I need some views to pay the bills, but I don't need to pay the bills that bad. Randy C says, describe your pack bait again. Okay, perfect. So I've just got it in a Ziploc bag today, but it's breadcrumbs, you get them there at the Walmart, some sweet corn, and strawberry jello. And it's just all mixed up together there. You can play around with the combinations. 2 cans of crumbs, 6 ounces of jello, and one, I think it's 15-ounce can of corn. Mixes up really good. And it's got enough moisture to pack. So if you want more than that, I'd just double the recipe there. But that seems to be working pretty good for me. Oh. That one got hit. That one rod right there has got our action today. Something bumped it. We'll give it a few more minutes there, and I'll reel it in and get some more pack bait out there. They may have, that was a pretty good thump. They may have knocked all that pack bait off. They're clearly over there eating in that area. Christian Campbell says, what fish do you think fights harder, carp or stripers? I'd say stripers for sure, but them carp fight hard too. Augustin Pedraza says, do you know Skip Bayless? He irritates me on how he believes in Baker Mayfield. I don't know him personally. I've seen some of his stuff. I can't stand him either, though. I watch Colin Cowherd, but I like Colin, but I can't stand Skip Bayless. Ain't my cup of tea. Stephen A. Smith's another one I can't stand either. I watch Colin. I watch a little bit of Pat McAfee, and occasionally I'll flip on Rich Eisen too, if he's got an interesting interview. Craig Rudd, I am from Tennessee. I got Justin Young. He's an Oklahoma State fan. Well, we won't hold it against you. James Perry said, Justin, I might. Are you there? Can you all see me? Y'all, my phone overheated. I've currently got my phone in the shade on an ice pack. I don't know if any of y'all are still in the chat box or not. It still says there's 192 people in here, but I don't know if anybody's, I don't know. It says I'm back now. Okay. Sorry, guys. We're going to have to come up with something here right quick. The sun has popped up over here behind me and my phone's overheating. It's hot as blazes out here. It's just humid more than anything. I've got my phone and I'm holding it down on an ice pack right now. So I'm trying to cool it off. I'm going to make a move here. I'm going to slide back further up in these trees. Let me just scroll back up. Did I lose all of my previous comments while I got kicked off the thing? Tom N hit me with the 10 spot. He got robbed by Uber, he said. I'm going to make sure I didn't. I don't even know where I left. Second, I'm cooling my phone off, y'all. And then we're gonna try to do something. I'm gonna have to reel in all these damn lines. We're gonna try to make this work. All right, my phone should be cool now. Man, it is early in the morning for this overheating nonsense. All right, bear with me. Yeah, I had me an ice block here in my cooler. That's the quickest way I know to get an overheated phone to cool off, is to either stick it down in some ice or put it on an ice block. But the sun has come up over the trees, and I guess it was hitting it at the right angle to just melt it. That's part of the reason I ain't been going live much lately, y'all. It's been so damn hot. We've had some 90, 100-degree days, and hell, 8 o'clock in the morning, it's 88 degrees, and you can't keep electronics running. I can't anyway. I can barely keep my GoPro running for normal videos. I'm having to put it down in the cooler too periodically because it overheats all the time. It's bad about overheating in good conditions, but especially when it's this hot. So I'm gonna reel everything in, y'all, and I'm gonna ease back so I can hopefully maybe get myself back in the shade. I was trying, when I set up out here, the water was real tore up right over in here where I could see where them carp had been feeding. There was a little shad. And so that's why I had positioned myself where I was, so that I could cast and reach those places. But the sun, and it's a fairly cloudy day. I don't know. Sun's behind the cloud now. I'm still gonna go ahead and move though. It'll pop out from behind that cloud in a minute and we'll be overheating again. Let's power pole up. Watch this. Now, I keep waiting for them power poles when they move up to just fall completely out of that damn thing. Them poles themselves was pretty expensive too. They were like $100 just for the poles. Pretty outrageous if you ask me. But a normal stakeout pole was like $60 last year when I tried them. Everything's expensive these days, y'all. Everything. All right, let's drop these power poles back down. All right, I think we're back in business. Let's get rebaited. If I still got anybody, I know when I overheated, well, I've got 269 people in here. The spammers are still here. Lord Almighty. They still here. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, we still got 200 and something people in here, so I'll just go ahead. We'll keep this thing going as long as we can here until we overheat again. But I'm gonna have to cast out some more baits now. So I got everything all reeled in. How many fish have we got? Just two? Two that we landed and a couple bites? I done forgot how many we got today. I've been so fixated on that chat box trying to keep up. I can't keep up with how many fish we got. All right, next bait going out. There's that one. Bear with me, y'all. We'll get it done here shortly. I'd hoped to set in that one spot and not move today, and I had everything cast out before I went live. But things happen. Hopefully we'll be in the shade a little while longer here. Now listen, here it was all tangled up. My hook was in my sinker. Wasn't no wonder we wasn't gonna catch a fish on that. Had my hair rig all spun around there too. Really like fishing with this pack bait though. It is so much easier just to go to Walmart and spend $5 and have me enough bait for a trip versus having to go out and spend $10 in gas at least to go, then spend 2 or 3 hours of my time catching skipjack. Making a little bit longer cast now, trying to get back over there to that area where that activity was going on, which means the longer cast when we do hook a fish again, if we do, they're gonna have more room to run and get in these other lines. I hear a boat coming too. I hope they don't pull up in here. We ain't got time for no bass boaters today. That's the last thing we need. Hopefully they went to the pocket behind us. I'm gonna throw another one over here just on the, about a shoreline over here. Looks like there's a piece of wood right there. Let me see if I can just throw that right there. See what that'll do for us. Well, if anybody's still watching, I think we're back in the game now. Tighten up some of them lines there. All right. Anybody still in here? Yeah, Lord, we've added people while I've been baiting lines. I guess me baiting lines is more entertaining than me talking. Let me see. Well, we had some more spammers. Let's see. Good. Pontoon Jody. Pontoon Jody's a new moderator for me, and she's already earning her keep around here. She done got them blocked here. There's James Shuey. What's going on, James? He said, I'm just now getting up out of bed. Went night fishing last night and got skunked. Happens to the best of us, man. Old man on the hills is back in business. James Wilmot says, what would you do if you caught a golly whopper on the pack bait? I'd be happy as a lark. That's what I'd do. Of course. Of course. Well, if they get in casting distance, we're going to reel one in and hit them with some Jello, y'all. That'll start their day good. 2 people on the water this morning. 2 of us. Same spot. There's Marvin Mangum in the house. What's going on, Marvin? Jackson, yeah, our blue cats. Most of them are on the beds here. No maters this morning, old man on the hill. Didn't have any to bring today. Got to use the fake corn today. Yeah, marker catfish and crappie there. I've used the subscriber only mode for lives in the past, but I can't set that up from my phone. I have to do that from the computer. And so, like today, I come out here and set up the live. I don't have a way to do that. I would like to do that to encourage more people to subscribe. Good, look right there. Look right there. Y'all ran them off. I was trying to be hospitable. I was going to give them some Jello. And y'all ran them off. Ain't that something, though? There's literally, what is today, Wednesday? There's 2 boats out here. Well, 1 boat and me. And we both end up in the same place. It's like, I don't get it. It's like going to the bathroom at the movies or a restaurant and there's a line of urinals. And I always go to the far end one. And somebody inevitably will come right next to you. They'll pull up right there next to you. And I'm like, there's a whole line of urinals, you know. We need some elbow room here. You know, y'all know how people are. Josh Black says, I make carp fishing look easy. I have no idea what I'm doing, Josh. I'm really not very good at it. I'll use corn, you know, for a long time when I go out, and you catch a few here and there, but the pack bait this year has really, like, upped my game. But just having that ball of chum right there by your baits with the hook it's a big help. I gotta put a little bit more. I like fishing for the carp from the bank better than I do the kayak because I can cast baits out, you know, a little better. I've got more room to land fish and stuff because carp want to flop. Most of the time a catfish, I land them, they'll be calm for you. The carp, they just don't quit. They want to flop nonstop. I'd rather do that on the bank than in the kayak, but just right now, spring and summer when we're at normal water level, very few places that I can do it. Daniel Duran, $2 says here to show the love for the channel. Thank you, Daniel. Glad you like the channel, man. I appreciate that. Got a lot of big supporters on this channel. I appreciate every one of you. Lee Mower says a coffee can of concrete is $15 for a couple anchors. Yeah, well, Lee Mowers, again, you apparently don't do much of this in a kayak because you got to keep your kayak still. If your kayak's moving all over the place, and experienced that last year playing with the anchors and the stakeout poles, you just ain't gonna catch carp doing that. Not with your lines getting pulled all over. So these things, they are expensive, but they're worth it if they pay off. Lord, there's another one that's been blocked. Thank y'all to my moderators. Y'all the heroes of this live stream. I don't know how it's gotten so bad. I feel like, you know, we had last year when I was live, we had spammers that would pop up occasionally, maybe once a stream, but now it's like the entire stream we're having to block. I don't understand it. Jeff Gerald says, hey Justin, what do you use to pull that trolling motor back up when you're done using it for the day? I got pulleys rigged up. Jeff, I got some PVC to cord, one for the lever and one around the top of the motor. So I can pull the lever down with one and then pull the motor up. Easy fix, a little DIY job there. Saved me from having to get up there and climb up the front of the kayak. I ain't as nimble as I used to be in my younger days. Hey, thank you, Levi Williams. I appreciate the kind words, man. Pete Garcia says, send down the moon pie, you'll get a bite for sure. You know, I've caught fish on tomatoes now. They might hit a chunk of moon pie. You never can tell. Be something interesting to try. Put a little bit of it on a hair rig and see what happens. Christian Campbell says he hooked up his phone to his TV so he can watch on the big screen. Heck yeah. That's awesome, man. I hope we see some more fish on your big screen. We got that sun popping back through. I hope my phone don't overheat again. I've had Mike Barron and Nick John both asking about the anchors. I got the power poles back here today. Just got those. So we're rocking them today, seeing how it's going. So far, it's going pretty good with them. We had one malfunction where the pole, I'd raised it up, and I couldn't get it to go back down. I had to rock it a little bit. I guess it had come too far out. Matthew Linger says, ain't gonna lie, you have the most entertaining fishing videos on YouTube. Well, thank you, Matthew. Waldo, I've never used Slim Jim before. I know they use it over there in Europe and stuff. I figured we'd get turtles over here if I used a Slim Jim or Spam. It amazes me, y'all. So I've been, you know, went down the carp rabbit hole and been watching some whales catfish videos too. And those guys will take a hunk of Spam and put it on a hair rig and cast it out. And they'll sit out there all night waiting for a whale's catfish to come along. And I'm like, them people in England and Europe and stuff, they must not have turtles there. They must not have any kind of smaller pest species like channel cats like we do here, because I promise you, if I threw out Spam right now, the turtles would have that eat in 3 minutes or less. It would be gone, bare hook. I don't know how they do it, but I wish I could use Spam here. It would make life so much simpler. And they use them pellets over there too, and I got some in pellets to try here, but they're garbage here. I can't get anything to eat them here. Channel cats and turtles. It's the only thing I've been able to catch with them here. No carp and no bigger catfish. I've caught more catfish on the daggone breadcrumbs and fake corn than I have them pellets. So I feel like I wasted $7 on them pellets. Probably won't use them no more. I got more confidence in the cherry tomatoes than I do the pellets right now. Tyrell Nicholson says, how's the garden? Hasn't rained in 3 weeks in southern Indiana. I didn't end up putting out a garden this year, Tyrell, because I was feuding with my neighbors at the time, and it took forever to get my fence up. Thankfully, they finally got it done, so I've blocked out Sanford and Son now. Well, it's too late to plant a garden at this point. The only plants I have is I got 2 tomato plants growing in my compost bin from seeds from last year of stuff I composted. I actually had about 100 tomatoes in there, but I ripped most of them out and left 2 growing. That's the only plants I got this year. There's Tom, says $10. He says moon pie would make a great clickbait. It'd get me some extra clicks, wouldn't it, Tom? Every click counts these days. Yeah, Jeff Gerald, those were the upgrades. Power poles was the upgrades there. I've been pretty excited to try those out. So far, they work pretty good. They are expensive, but again, you know, if it helps me fish places like these little coves and pockets where I don't have bank access, and if it ultimately, if it helps me get more videos, more content, then they'll pay for themselves. It's just, you know, it's a big gamble up front, a lot of expense up front, but hopefully it'll pay off. But I've spent more money carp fishing this year than what I have catfishing, because I would not have bought these for catfish. That shows you how far down the carp rabbit hole that I have gone, people. Hey, Clinton G in the house. What's going on, Clinton? He's reminding people to hit the thumbs up button. Jimmy Edwards. There's another big supporter of mine. What's going on, Jimmy? He caught him a few turtles, one of them an alligator snapping turtle. Them things are ugly looking things. I wouldn't mess with them. Andrew Clark says, not sure what's happening, but he sent 2 super chats and they didn't show up. I don't know either, Andrew. I didn't see them. If they did, hopefully you didn't get charged for them. I apologize if you did, but they didn't show up on my end. Levi says it's 70 degrees there this morning. You know, it's hot here. It's humid. It's not terribly hot. It's probably 80 degrees or so. But when that sun hits my phone, it's like a magnifying glass, you know, burning ants and stuff. It just heats up real quick. Hopefully we got a little bit of shade here for a little bit longer. I'm just going to do this carp fishing this morning, and then before I leave today, I'm going to go try something new for catfish. I got a hot tip from my man Dewey. My regular viewers, you have heard me mention Dewey before. He's the one that hooked me up with the stinger flies. He's on another very unique catfish bite. And, you know, once is an accident, twice is a pattern, as the old saying goes. He caught about 40 catfish in 2 days doing something that if somebody else had told me aside from him, I wouldn't believe it. A lot of fishermen are liars. A lot of human beings in general are liars. You can't trust anybody in 2022. But when Dewey says something, it's the gospel. And I believe him. And so I'm going to go try it today. Dewey's one of them people too. I don't know why he took a liking to me, but he has. And he don't give a crap about me sharing stuff on video, because I told him, you know, when I first met him, like, don't tell me where to fish and stuff, because I will burn it to the ground with a video. And he's like, I don't care, you know, go do it. It'll make an interesting video, you know. So he's told me about this, and I'm gonna go try it today when I'm done carp fishing here. So we'll see if it works. If it works out, if that bite's still going on, y'all will see it in an upcoming video. If not, well, it might have just been one of them things. We'll see. I'm not going to talk about it right now because, you know, I got a feeling if it works out, there'll be so many boats you won't be able to turn around. Dude was catching some big fish doing it. Lee Mower said them pellets were $7 for education. That's true. That's a good way of looking at it. Hey, there's Jimmy with $20. Jimmy Edwards. He says, come to Alabama and help me catch the monster. Well, Lord, Jimmy, you don't need my help. I've seen the pictures you've been posting down there. He's been catching some big ones. I imagine the spawn will be wrapping up down there pretty soon. They probably go on the nest a little sooner down there than they do here, just with the climate difference. Most of our cats are on the nest here now. It's tough. You're getting small fish or not much at all right now. My video that's coming out, actually I had a video scheduled for today. It may come out while I'm live here, I don't know. It was a tough day fishing too. I may move today's video. If we end this live stream before it airs, I may move that video back to tomorrow. Just so we don't have a live stream in that video. I feel like that hurts my views to have them stacked like that. Xbox Trader says, I've been seeing more and more Jello and Kool-Aid video titles lately than anything. Yeah, that Jello chicken gets a lot of views. That's why a lot of them use it. It ain't really a good catfish bait other than small fish and maybe an occasional big one. But boy, it gets a lot of views on YouTube, so that's why they do it. I may get there at some point, but I'm hoping not to have to do. I'm hoping not to have to change the way I fish to get views. I hope I don't get to that point. I'll probably just quit YouTube and go back to my job when I do, because when I go fishing, I want to fish how I want. Daniel Duran says, here's an idea. Let's get everyone to share the videos to help the channel grow. I mean, in a perfect world, they would, but I don't get a whole lot of shares. Jason Allen says, loves that you've gone down the carp rabbit hole. Come fish the Finger Lakes for monster carp. We also have mirror carp. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the carp. And it's amazing to me that more people don't fish for them, for the simple fact that for most people, a carp is probably the biggest fish they're going to catch in their life, or at least have easy access to big fish, you know. A lot of places just don't have big catfish. But those same places that don't necessarily have the big cats oftentimes have big carp, and nobody targets them. And they're fairly easy to fish for. I mean, as far as your tackle and your baits, I mean, you can buy your bait at the grocery store. So I don't know why they've got such a bad rap here, but I'm gonna do my part to try to make these fish cool. Kind of like kayak catfishing back in the day. You know, when I was first on YouTube and stuff, people used to make fun of me, for fishing out of a kayak. Every time I'd pull up and there'd be people bank fishing or I was launching my kayak, they'd be like, oh, you gonna catch a catfish in that thing? You're gonna get flipped if you catch a catfish as big as what I catch. They'd make fun of me, talk shit and stuff. And now them same goobers that used to make fun of me watch my videos. It just took a little time to make kayak catfishing cool. And I'm going to do the same damn thing with carp. You watch and see. So anyway, that's my new mission. Hey, I got some more super chats popping up here. We got a new member. Let me see. Let me scroll back up here. Make sure I didn't miss any. I don't know how I get so far behind, but I do in the chat, y'all. Brian, Lord, I don't know how to say your name, but he's joined the club. Brian Stivers, he hit me up with a super chat earlier. Got the first fish of the show dedicated to him. Brian, your fish apparently told these other fish, don't come back, these hooks on these baits. We ain't caught much since, but thanks for joining the club, Brian. I wish I knew how to say your last name. We got Andrew Clark. There's Andrew, $10. He says, trying one more time. Love the content, just showing my support. Well, I got that, Andrew. I hope the other two, I hope your card didn't get charged, man. But thank you for the support there, Andrew. It means a lot, man. Can y'all hear them frogs? I don't know if that's coming on the camera. These frogs are singing Andrew's praises back there. They just got talkative all of a sudden. They cheering on Andrew. Tom's back with a 5 spot. He says, I had this happen with Super Chat not posting. Close all the other apps and reboot YouTube. Yeah, Tom's hit me up with a bunch of super chats, and people have problems with it and glitches and stuff. They always working on YouTube is always trying new ways to separate you from your money all the time. They trying to make it as easy as possible, but sometimes there's glitches. We got Q at D says, love your content, never change. Thank you, man. Daniel Silcott hit me with $4.99. Thank you, Daniel. He didn't leave a comment with it. Let me scroll down. I don't see his comment under there. Well, thank you, Daniel. That's real nice of you. James Baker says carp are a lot of fun to catch. I agree. There's Tim Zazinski. Boy, he's caught a big carp. 36.6. That's a big one. I ain't got none that big. Oh, there's Daniel's comment. He says, keep the carp coming. Enjoy watching it. Well, thank you, Daniel. I'm glad you like it. I finally figured out how to get people to watch my carp videos. There for a while, if I titled it and had carp in the title, the views were garbage. I mean, they were some of my worst performing videos if it had carp in the title. What I have to do, though, is do a thumbnail where it's just the kayak setup and the rods. And I think people click on it thinking it's a catfish video, and then they watch. It's just getting them to click on it. I got to move. The sun's popping through. We're going to be overheating here in a second, y'all. Let me spin around this way. We need to get another fish to bite. It's been a while. We ain't got bit since I moved. We had a good thing going over there until the sun messed us up. Here is another super chat from Apostolic 2022. $5. Thank you, Apostolic. He says, Heath here from Oklahoma, never given anything before. I watch your videos when I can because I'm a trucker. Keep up the great videos. Well, thank you, Heath. Man, I got a bunch of people from Oklahoma. I mean, I think Texas is like, hey, Heath, I'm about to dedicate you a fish. He's swimming with it. He's went under my other line over there. We got him. Oh, come on. Come out of that. Okay, he come out of it. Maybe I don't. No, I don't. Dang, man. Well, Heath, I was hoping to have you a fish. He swam me into my other line and come free. Dang, man. Well, I guess we're going to be casting out 2 other lines. These fish, I tried dedicating one to Ed from Oklahoma earlier too. And that fish didn't hook up. These fish, these Tennessee carp do not like people from Oklahoma apparently. I don't know what they've got against you all, but they just don't like yins. That is 2 botched fish as I was trying to dedicate them to people from Oklahoma. He swam into the other line and got down to the other sinker and popped off. And I reeled that other sinker all the way in along with some grass. Well, let's cast us 2 more lines out, what do you say? Doggone it. Let's get a handful of that juicy goodness right there. I smell this bait all day when I'm doing this carp fishing, and it makes me crave a strawberry shortcake because that's what it smells like. And I do love me some strawberry shortcake. That may be my favorite all-time dessert. Well, there's one of them back out. Now let's get this in and I'll tighten up them other lines. Yeah, folks, if you doing this style of fishing, it helps if you will pack that bait on to the sinker, whatever sinker you're using. Pack it on there really tight. And then obviously get your line out from around your rod tip. That's the next tip I can give you because I've got that going on right now. All right. Every time I talk to the camera, y'all. But then if you can kind of lob your bait versus really just casting it, that'll keep you from flinging it off the hook oftentimes. All right, I think we're back in business again. All right. All right. Lord, we still got 349 people watch. I guess the overheating and my phone shutting off didn't mess up the stream too bad. Jimmy Edwards, he says, please give Phyllis a shout out, buddy. We're watching this together. Heck yeah, happy to do it, man. Shout out to Phyllis. Thanks for letting Jimmy watch. Let me scroll up here back to Apostolic's comment there. Thank you again for that, Heath. Sorry I couldn't dedicate that fish to you. These fish, they just don't like people from Oklahoma. I don't know why they got against you, but I guess y'all catch too many of them out there. Quinn Shepard from West Tennessee in the house. What's going on, Quinn? Eva Bari from North Carolina. Outdoors Addiction. Says I try and watch when I can, work night shift, so it's hard. Yeah, I appreciate you watching when you can, man. Jason Allen, I have no idea what the state record for carp is. Waldo says, how deep do the power rods go? I'm assuming he's talking power poles. I've got the 8-foot poles. So I think you can anchor down in about 5.5 to 6 feet deep because you got to allow for the top of the pole and then the power pole motors themselves. So there's a little bit of distance there that eats up part of your pole. But I think I can do 5.5 to 6 foot depths that I can anchor in. So, which for this carp fishing, I mean, I'm going to be anchored shallow. You know, I'm going to be places like this cove here. Well, like right now where I'm anchored, I'm probably a foot or so deep here. It's deep enough. I'd be, you know, shin to knee deep here, either in flip-flops or water would be coming over my boots, and I don't have any good bank access, so they're going to help me in situations like this. Oh man, fishing with Big Mike in the house. He says, pack bait fund. He hit me with $5. Thank you, Big Mike. Hell, that $5, that'll buy me a day's worth of bait right there, man. I appreciate it. That's a nice thing about carp fishing. It don't cost much to get you baited up. I spend more than $5 in gas driving to go catch skipjack for the cats, but the carp, I got to go to the grocery store anyway, so it's convenient just to pick up what I need while I'm there. And $5, man, I'm good for a whole day. I hope you're feeling better too, Big Mike. Big Mike's been sick, y'all. I've seen on the Facebook there, he's had the fever and stuff, been going to work anyway in this heat. I don't know how he's doing it. Jason Allen says, try a strawberry on the hair. I'm wanting to do that. That's another one of them baits like the tomatoes that I've read that will catch some buffalo and stuff. There's Keith Doc Reed in the house. What's going on, Keith? He says he didn't get a notification. I ain't surprised. That's still been a problem. Grayson loves watching from Sweden. He's over there with them hot-looking girls. A lot of good-looking women over there in Sweden. That's what I've heard. Don't see a whole lot of them here in East Tennessee, though. That's for sure. Jimmy Edwards said he caught a 4-pound carp and froze it overnight and made cut bait. The cat started biting it immediately. Man, I don't know how the hell you can cut up a big carp. Them things like cutting through bone. I feel like I need a chainsaw every time I try to cut into a bigger one. The only time I ever get small carps when I'm throwing a cast net and getting shad. I'll occasionally get a small one in there. They never eat a hook. Brokeback Bob said I need to tell him about using cherry tomatoes. Tell you, them tomatoes get it done. Surprised the hell out of me. Brian Harden, no, I don't ever go up to Illinois. Maybe someday. Hey, thanks for tuning in today, Water Rat Lyle. Thanks for being a club member too, man. I appreciate you. Tree Nation in the house from Fort Worth, Texas. Rip the Lips Outdoors says, are the poles friction or gear driven? I can't tell in the video. I guess they're gear driven. They got a motor that drives them down into the mud and holds them in place. And allegedly they'll compensate for boat wake and stuff too. Or if I'm on a hard bottom and can't drive in very deep. We'll see. This is my first rodeo with them here. I was supposed to get them over the weekend, and I got the mount or the power pole, the anchor part of it, but the poles were shipped Postal Service. The other part was shipped FedEx. They show up on time. The poles, I'm waiting around all damn day. And finally, like 9:07 p.m., the tracking thing updates and it says, my address was undeliverable. Attempted delivery, undeliverable address or something like that. And I thought that lazy postman was running behind and just put in a little message. You know, they didn't even try to deliver. Because I've lived where I've lived now 16 years. I got numbers on my fence with my house number. I've got numbers on my mailbox. You can't miss it. Nevertheless. So Monday, I'm waiting all damn day on these poles. They don't show up. Finally, 7 o'clock, the post office girl shows up, and I'm outside. And she looks like she's about 12. She's new. She's fumbling around there. She's like, I'm sorry, I got a bunch of packages. I'll find it in a minute. I'm like, you can't miss it. It's 2 8-foot-long poles. And she goes, oh, those were yours. Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't fit them in my van. And I'm like, you know, I mean, why are you even driving up to my house to drop off the package? You don't have it. So I ended up having to go to the post office, which I could have done on Saturday if they had told me they're just not going to be able to deliver the damn things. But I ended up getting them. All's well in the end. It just took a lot longer because the post office sucks. But anyway, that's my rant for the day. I'm done ranting. I'm done complaining, y'all. That was it, I promise. But I do hate the post office. Not as bad as I hate my neighbors, but I hate the post office. I think everybody hates the post office these days. I got behind. Lord, I went on my rant and I got behind again. Big Mike has done it again, y'all, with another $5. He says, make it 2 days worth. Thank you, Big Mike. By gosh, I'll do it too. You don't have to twist my arm to go carp fishing. Thank you so much, buddy. Here's one from Cool Cats Fishing too, a 5-spot. He says, So I heard you had a good time with Chat Cats. I was happy to see you two hook up. You both rock. Well, thank you, Cool Cats. I had a dang good time down there with Joe, man. He took me down there below the dam, and fishing below the dam, I can do it from the bank, but I can't get the kayak up in the tailwaters. The current's just too strong. I can't even make it up to the dam, aside from the fact, just the safety issues and all. So we went up there, and we started out bass fishing, caught a bunch of bass, live shiners, and then hooked into one of the craziest catches of my life. I've made a separate video just about that catch. And then we spent the second half of the morning just drifting the tail race with chicken, which y'all know how I am with chicken, and we caught some channel cats and a few other fish, which y'all know how I am about the channel cats. But we had a dang good time. Joe's a cool dude, and been a long time coming on that collaboration video. But I had a good time with him. I think we're going to try to do it again sometime this fall. We're going to try to get together again, and we'll go back down there. And he had mentioned wanting to come up here and do some carp fishing. His brother has a YouTube channel. I think it's Top Tactic Fishing. But that's his brother's YouTube channel. He's up in Pennsylvania, and he's really big on the carp too. So I'm going to check out some of his videos, see if I can learn something from him. But I had a real good time on that trip. We got AWS Asher said he'd love to be doing what you're doing. He don't want to be working on cars today. I don't blame you. It's a hot day to be working out on some cars. I hope you're at least in a garage somewhere with a fan blowing. Let me scroll down here and hit these other super chats. I had a couple more pop up. Lord, right here, Rip the Lips Outdoors says, thanks for answering, Justin. I feel like he won something. I made his day. Wish I could make everybody's day that easily. Tom back with another 5. He said 52 pounds and 14 ounces is Tennessee state carp record. That's a huge carp. If we caught a 50 pounder out here, we'd have every one of these lines tangled for sure before I got him in. Randy Toller in the house. What's going on, Randy? Jason Allen hit me with $9.99. He says, pack bait fund and some gas. Heck yeah, man. Thank you. Jason's hooked me up. I can buy pack bait. I can drive to the Walmart and get it, and then drive to the lake afterwards. Man, I'm set. Thank you, Jason. But I tell you what, gas prices are something right now, ain't they? Everything's, and I see these guys driving these big trucks, pulling their bass boats to the lake, driving 80 miles an hour down the lake with their 300 horsepower motors, and I'm like, I bet they working some overtime to pay them gas bills. That's one of the perks of a kayak. I can pull it with my car and get 30 miles to the gallon and don't use a drop in gas when I get out here. So it's a pretty good, people appreciating kayak fishing a whole lot more these days. Slick here's got a good question. He says, do you need to register your kayak if they have trolling motors in Tennessee? You do. Yeah, you got to pay, I think it's $13 a year here in Tennessee to have a motor on it. That's well worth it in my opinion. Going through the registration process at the courthouse down there, the county clerks, is an ordeal. I guess they hadn't registered a lot of kayaks, but once you get through that process, yeah, just put a sticker on it, just like a boat. Medic 4 Outdoors says, are you nursing any part-time, Justin? No, I completely quit when I went full-time on YouTube. I may end up going back to it at some point when YouTube dies off for me, but for right now, I'm enjoying my time away. I don't miss it, that's for sure. Douglas said the opposite down there. FedEx is never on time. Post office is on time. This is hard to find. I was telling my mom this the other night, we was talking, and I said, you can't find good help nowhere anymore. You go to a restaurant, the service is terrible, the food's bad. You go to the grocery store, they ain't got nobody to run the register. You go to the post office, you can't get your mail on time if you get it at all. It's just, the world's going down the toilet. I don't know how it's going to be fixed either. Brokeback Bob hit me $19.99. He says, for bait feeders when snagged and lost. Well, thank you, Bob. Bob's a good man. I'm going to turn this way, Bob. I'm going to try to turn away from that sun so we don't overheat. Well, thank you, Bob. Bob's going to keep me on these good bait feeders. They $4.99 a piece. But they're worth it, in my opinion, because you really pack that bait around that triangular shape. I feel like I can get more around it than what I can on a normal sinker. Thank you for that, Bob. I got some generous viewers on here. Let me scroll up to you. I think I missed. No, I hadn't. I'm going crazy. I thought I'd missed another. Darren Turner says, we carp and buffalo fish with Wheaties and strawberry soda in East Texas. Look right here. Y'all see that? Look at this little gar. He's solid black. He's coming up here to make fun of me. He said, them carps done left town. Right there, right, he's over there. How you gonna swim around behind me and check out my new power poles? I'm curious if I'll ever catch a carp on, or I mean a gar on my carp rigs. The fact that I'm catching catfish on them leads me to believe it could happen. He's going around there, he's checking out them power poles from the back. He heard me talking to Brokeback Bob. He wanted to come up and tell Bob hi. Sad thing is, y'all just tuning into the live stream, we got bit right away. And probably been an hour now. And that's the first fish we've seen in the last hour. Had one tangle up my lines. It's been slow out here this morning. Interesting. I hope that showed up on camera right there. Let's see. Brian Harden, y'all. He said he started watching the channel and did some things that I do, and he caught a 52-pound blue cat. Heck yeah, man. Congratulations, Brian. That's freaking awesome, man. That's a huge fish. Gary Wormy Rich telling people to hit the like button. Thank you, man. Jason Rowland in the house. Glad you could make it to a stream, man. Jackson Burke says, Jackson from Cincinnati. He's up there in Kayak Mike's country. He says, we love your channel. Watch all we can. We learn a lot from you. What kind of corn are you using floating, sinking, and flavor? I'll show you, Jackson. Let's see here. I honestly don't know. I know it's Tutti Frutti flavored, but I don't know if it floats or not. Well, I thought I was going to show you. Here it is. This is Enterprise Tackle Pop-Up Imitation Sweet Corn. I don't know. Oh, it says buoyant. So I guess it does float. I don't know if it'll float my hook or not, but that's what I'm using there. And that's just a hair rig tool in there. But this stuff, I mean, it comes in a 10-pack for a few dollars, and it's super durable. I mean, it don't get ripped off the hook. I don't know how long the scent lasts on it. It's tutti frutti. It smells like juicy fruit gum, chewing gum. But it's super durable. Derek Parker said, when you were a travel nurse, did you fish near any of the places you traveled to? I didn't, Derek. When I was doing the travel nursing, I was all about the money. And so what I would do is I typically worked in the Southeast within about 6 hours of home. And I would always get a block schedule in my contract. So I would go over there, work 6 days, and then come home for 8. And that helped me make more money because it kept my expenses down. I didn't have to pay for a whole month's worth of lodging. I could pay for 2 weeks. And so with me working, I did 6 12-hour days. There wasn't no time, you know, for fishing. I'd just come home and fish. But that helped me really helped me get my channel up and going, because on my weeks off, I was able to film enough content so that it looked like I had consistent content coming out, you know. But in hindsight, you know, there's some places that I wished I had took some time and fished, but y'all know how it is when you traveling and working and stuff, you're tired, and the thing I hate about traveling anywhere with a kayak is there's always the fear of somebody gonna steal it or steal your stuff. And I was all about the money, you know, again, so I will stay in oftentimes some shady areas, whatever, the cheapest hotel with the crackheads and stuff. So wasn't the best place for me to be taking and leaving my gear and stuff sitting out. But definitely don't want to leave it in the hospital parking lot with all the drug addicts and stuff. But no, I never did any fishing at the places I went to. I just used the money to go fishing afterwards. Rip the Lip Outdoors says, is there a DIY solution for the pack bait? You can just use a regular sinker and pack your bait around it. I just think the triangular design holds the bait a little better, but you can pack bait around a no roll or a egg sinker or whatever. I feel like I've had some more super chats pop up. Where'd they go? I don't want to miss any super chats. Oh, I did. Matthew Linger, $10. He says, enjoy the day, Justin. Keep killing it. I got to get back to work. Looking forward to your new video. Well, thank you, Matthew. Thank you for the super chat, man. Hope you have a good day at work. There's Anthony Clifford. He's a club member. What's going on? Jimmy said that was a curious gar. Yeah, he wasn't scared of us. Here's Nigel. Nigel, I don't know how to say your name. Wasil? I'm sorry, Nigel. I'm butchering it. $19.99 though. He says, thanks for your fishing tips. I just landed my personal best flathead, 45 pounds. Suspend fishing from a paddleboard. Man, that's a big flathead, and I bet that was an ordeal on a paddleboard. I bet that was fun, man. Congrats on that, Nigel, and thank you for the super chat, buddy. I ain't never been paddleboarding, but I need to try it. It looks fun. I see people out doing it all the time. I've been real interested in that Hobie Lynx kayak, which it's kind of like a paddleboard with a seat from the looks of it. But I bet it would be fun to get towed around by a big fish out there on a paddleboard. Mike Hatch, he says, big fan, Justin, always enjoy it. Thank you, Mike. Glad to have you as a club member. Kayak USA in the house. Says, good morning, bud. Hope you catch a big one. Thanks for stopping by, man. Glad to have you. Moderator. What a name. So it's time to soak some baits. Yay. Yeah, we've been soaking them here. We got off to a good start. How long have we been live now? 108 minutes, so hour and a half. We got off to a good start. And then it's just kind of died. I don't know what happened. I had to move. I saw an area, for those of you just tuning in, I'm going to stand up here and see. Well, them power poles, they really stable this kayak out. You probably can't tell with the sun. There was an area all tore up over here where the carp had been in there rooting around. And because there's some grass here in this pocket, but it was all muddied up and cleared out there. And so that's where I had my baits cast initially. And then we caught some fish. And then the sun come out and my phone overheated. And so I had to move back here, try to get into the shade of these trees. And we ain't got nothing seeing. Well, one run my hook into my other line and come off. But it's been slow out here. It's just one of these places that I'm trying out. You know, there's a lot of places that I come into, I see carp and stuff, and I'm gonna start fishing them, you know, just to see what I can get. It's one of them places. We're fortunate here, and I think a lot of people are fortunate all over the Southeast that you got big populations of carp that just untapped resource, you know. So for me, it's kind of just figuring out what sections of the river have the biggest carp or the most concentrations of fish, and targeting those areas. It's all new to me, you know. I'm just having to learn as I go, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. Every time I hook into one, it's always a battle. They just fight so dang hard, and the way they make their runs too, it reminds me a lot of when I was down there in Florida over the winter and did some shark fishing. Now, obviously, a carp ain't pulling nowhere near as hard as a shark, but the way they make them long runs, and they'll go this way, and all of a sudden they turn, and then they're going back the other way, and the way that they just don't quit when you land them, they're just constantly thrashing. It really reminded me of shark fishing down there, which I hope to get back down there to Florida at some point this winter and do some more of that. I'll probably spend more time these days thinking about carp or shark fishing than I do anything else. We got Brady Parrish in the house. He says he's watching from work. Won't know what we missed. So I just answered that question without knowing he had asked the question right before I read his comment. G-Man 52, I'm on Watts Bar today, Watts Bar Reservoir in a backwater cove. Real shallow. Got a lot of weeds and hoping it had a lot of carp, but it seemed to be the case right now. We got Adam Visser says, me and my stepdad discovered your channel. You got us excited to catfish. Well, man, I hope you catch some big ones. Glad you got into it. Kayak USA says, your live videos are great. How do you film them? Camera and Rode mic or phone and mic? I've been wanting to do more live on the water videos. Great footage. Thank you. Yeah, I've got my phone. I've got an iPhone, and I've got it, well, I can't show you the mount because obviously the phone is on the mount, but I've got a little battery pack hand grip, and so that powers the phone just so I don't run out of battery. And then I've got a, well, y'all just got ear raped right there when I hit that microphone, but I've got a Rode wireless mic to my phone there. Sometimes the reason the audio in the phone itself was pretty good when I first started going live, just using the phone audio, but what was happening some was if I was landing a fish and water got splashed into the bottom of the phone there, into the mic, we would get popping sounds on the video, and it would kind of, and sometimes it would make you know how it is when you get water down a speaker or something, it just sounds like you're in a tunnel or something. So that's why I ultimately went with the microphone. But yeah, it's a pretty simple setup. Biggest challenge with this setup is just overheating on hot days. The phone, having that sunlight going onto the phone screen is just a recipe for disaster in the summer months. And then when I'm doing a hero shot or something, I got me just a PVC mount that I set this whole phone holder down into. So anyway, that's the setup. Rocking it DIY style out here. I hear another boat coming. I hope they ain't coming here in this little cove. We're going to throw some Jello at them if we do. Bluegill, that's one of my favorite baits, or one of my favorite fish to catch, I should say, with a $2 super sticker. He says, one up. Thank you, Bluegill. I think that boat kept going. Good. I can already tell that boat, they obviously ain't no fish back here that they want to catch. Unless they want to catch that gar over there. James Shuey's got me on both his phone and the flat screen. Hell yeah, getting double the views. Double the views thanks to James. He's a good man. Northern View Outdoors says, what program do you use for your edits? I use iMovie. I keep my edits pretty simple, so iMovie works good for me. Donald Hayes says, any recommendations for a starter kayak? I just tell people to get the kayak you want, but buy it used. Get you a good quality one and go to the used market and save a few $100. Palmetto Cats Adventure Vlog. He's changed his name, everybody. It ain't Palmetto Cats anymore. It's Palmetto Cats Adventure Vlog, but he's in the house. What's going on today, Kevin? Justin Stoner says, enjoyed the brim video. It's always good to go back to simplicity. I agree. You know, I got all these fancy gadgets. I got the live scope here. Now I've got the motor, added the power poles, but sometimes I don't want to fool with any of it. You know, I just want to just go out with the kayak and an ultralight rod and just go catch some fish. And so someday when YouTube's over, that'll be all I do. But right now, all these extra tools and gadgets, you know, help me catch more fish and get more video content. But one of these days when this is over, I'll go back to a simpler setup all the time. Let me scroll down here. Adam Vister says you can put a big block of metal on your phone to help with heat. No troubles. Lord, I would think the metal would make it heat up more, but maybe some kind of reverse logic there that helps with it. I want to get me some of them ice packs and strap to it, like them fake ice packs, you know, like the chemical kind that you break and they get cold, and strap them to the back of it. I think that might help too, but I haven't tried it yet. Carl Munger says, first time on your live. I watch a lot of your catfish videos, really enjoy them. He fishes on the White River in southeast Arkansas. Well, glad to have you on a live stream, man. I wish we could catch a fish for you. Oh, hell yeah, Palmetto Cats is going shark fishing on Friday. Why didn't I get the invite, Kevin? How come I didn't get the invite? I want to go shark fishing. He's too good for me nowadays, y'all. He can't. He's big time over there in South Carolina. He's changed his channel name now. He can't be inviting me out to catch no sharks with him. Runaway Radio Control says, what's up, man? Love your videos. My wife and I love to go catfishing. Well, before we had our twin girls last year. Well, congrats on the twins. That's a lot of kids to be having. Probably got his hand. That's why he ain't got no time for fishing. He's working on them twins all the time. Gary Wormy Rich says, I need an umbrella for the phone. Yeah. I probably could rig something up where it was just kind of over it there. I think today what got us was that sun coming through the trees at like just the perfect angle to heat it up. Here comes another one. Lord Almighty. 3 of us on the water, all the same spot today. Can't make it up, man. And Kevin says, can't have you catching all the fish and making me look bad. I hope you get on some sharks over there, man. I hope you have a good time on your trip. I think it'll be fun. That's the good thing about them sharks. Even the small ones are a dang good time because they fight harder than anything we have here in freshwater. That's for sure. They're another one that's kind of like the carp here. It's when you go to the beach or go to Florida, everybody hates them sharks. They're a nuisance down there, but I mean, they're just, from an old boy like me from the woods of Tennessee, going down there and catching sharks is just it's awesome. Well, there's Vivi Saldana, West Texas. My man, he's a truck driver, y'all. He's on the road all the time. Vivi Saldana, 1999. Thank you so much, Vivi. He says, good morning, buddy. I was just able to tune in, but I'm here with you in Ohio right now, heading to Alcoa, Tennessee. Well, he's going to be just down the road from me. He says, catch me a whopper, buddy. Say hello to West Texas Hammer Down. Yeah, man, Alcoa, that's, well, it's pretty good ways from where I'm fishing at today. But from where I live, Alcoa is just 20, 25 minutes away. So you're going to be real close to my house there, Vivi. Thank you for that super chat, buddy. Hope you have a safe trip. Oh, good. Them people turned right there. They heading back out. Amazing, y'all. I mean, just amazing. It's a Wednesday. You know, ain't nobody out here today. Nobody. I've seen 2 boats out here this morning, and both of them coming back here. Man, that's just amazing. There's 70 some odd miles of the Tennessee River in Watts Bar Reservoir, which is where I'm at today. 70, 71, 72 miles, something like that. So the fact that so many people can get bunched up in the same spot on a body of water that's so big, it's just mind-boggling. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, we finally got another one here. We're dedicating this one to Vivi Saldana, West Texas. Oh, I just pulled him free. Well, I about fell down too. I just about fell out of this thing. I pulled that hook right out of his mouth. That's 3 fish now that I've botched. I thought these fish just didn't like Oklahoma, because the other 2 that I was trying to dedicate to people from Oklahoma, they didn't want no part of it and they come free. This one here, I thought, how can you not like Vivi Saldana, man? He's a longtime viewer. Heck of a good guy. He's a truck driver. He's keeping our store shelves stocked, but keeping products moving on the road. And this fish said, hell with it. He wasn't getting dedicated to Vivi. Vivi, I'm sorry, that fish don't like you. I don't know why. Doggone it. That's the first bite we've had in a while too. And I botched it. Vivi, I'll at least dedicate that gar right there to you. He's back. I don't know if you can see him on camera. He's swimming right over there. He's watching this show live. He can't get enough of it. He wanted to get a front row seat. All right, we back out again. Reel in the slack here. There we go. All right, we fishing again. You know, the one I'm really surprised that hasn't gotten hit is the one that I've cast over here super shallow. I would have thought we'd have had some carp or something just cruising along the edge of the bank there. I threw these others, trying to get them over there where the water was all tore up, where they'd been rooting around. But this one, I thought for sure we'd get one just cruising along the bank, but no such luck. Not yet, anyway. Well, again, sorry, Vivi Saldana, man. I tried. That fish don't like Texas. These fish are... I'm going to have to find somebody from Tennessee, I guess, to dedicate a fish to on the next bite. Look right here. Is that a bite? Or is that just the kayak moving? I was just talking about that rod. Maybe it's just the kayak moving. Well, I might be imagining things. Got excited there for a second. I still think that thing's moving. I'm gonna sit real still for a second. Nah, it must have been my imagination. All right, back to the chat box. I'm imagining things. Great Outdoors says, how often do you need to rebait the pack bait? That's a good question. I don't really know the answer to it. I mean, theoretically, your pack bait should just kind of be sitting there on bottom until fish come along and get it. So I don't know. I don't know. Them guys over in Europe, they cast their baits out and leave them out all night long. So Gary Wormy Rich says at least they wasn't wake by. That's the truth. Could have been worse. I tolerate bass fishermen better than wakeboarders. Yeah, here it is. Kiba Hot Rod says those Carp know a lot of Oklahoma people bowfish for them. They don't want anything to do with you. That's probably the truth. They've heard the rumors about you all. TP Parker says, what happened to your Old Town kayak? Would you still recommend, or should I stay with the Hobie 14? I still have my Old Town big water kayak. I sold the autopilot. So I got tired of that beeping noise with the motor. The kayak was great. I love the kayak. But the beeping noise is all the time getting on the microphones and people complaining about it. And so I'd put the bow mount on this just to try it. And I ended up liking this setup better, so I sold the autopilot. But my pedal kayak is still the Old Town Big Water, and I really like it for what it is. It's kind of my grab and go boat, although if I end up getting a Hobie Lynx, which again I've kicked around the idea of, then I would probably sell the Big Water and go with the Lynx. But the Lynx, I love the concept of it because it's 40 some odd pounds. It's the true grab and go boat, but all the reviews are terrible. I mean, you get on Facebook groups and you read stuff. I mean, people are knocking holes in them. The bottom just dragging across sand looks like crap. I mean, they're the material, that lightweight material they use that keeps them lightweight is not durable at all. And I'm just fearful that I would wreck that thing in a month. So that's my biggest, and they're expensive as hell too for what they are. I mean, $3,000 for basically a glorified paddleboard with a seat and pedal systems, pretty outrageous. But I do like the concept of 40 something pounds. I could car top that down there and catch some sharks in Florida, you know, and not have to give myself a hernia dragging across the beach. But I don't know. I've still been back and forth on that. But to answer your original question, I sold the autopilot, still have the big water. Keith Doc Reed said he still didn't get a notification from YouTube. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, Keith. You would think with you being a longtime subscriber and a channel member, you'd be one of the first people to be notified. So I don't know. TP Parker says, awesome, thanks. That's what I thought about doing myself. Also, think the material on the lower model Hobies just aren't worth the price. Yeah, like the Passport's another one too that's garbage. I got to turn out that sun or we're going to overheat. The Passport, what's that, the Compass, I think, you know, they just garbage. You got to, and it's a shame because they still got the Hobie price tag on them even though they're the lower tier models, you know. Just don't have the quality. Brokeback Bob says he don't get notifications for any channels anymore. Yeah, it's just, hopefully YouTube will get their act together, get some of his glitches and stuff, get rid of the, I'd just be happy if they got rid of the damn spammers. Take a huge burden off of me. TP says Outback's the lowest option I think anyone should go down to. Yeah, I agree with that. The Outback or the Revolution, depending on how you fish. But you know, Elias V Fishing, he's had problems. He uses Outback, and he's had problems with them with the drive well cracking on his. So, you know, Hobie got new ownership. I think last year, the family had sold. It's new owners now, so you know they're going to be trying to cut costs any way they can. So I hope it don't affect the overall quality. But the good thing about Hobie is there's a ton of them available in the used market. And, you know, some of these other kayak brands, you know, like Jackson just come out with that Jackson Gnar which is it looks almost like the Pro Angler. It's a pretty cool concept. I don't like the Jackson pedal drive. I don't like that you can't remove it. So like the Hobie pedal drive, I'd never bring the pedals with me when I got the motor. But when the pedal drive's gone, I got that little cassette plug there. My floor's flat. It's open space. Whereas the Jackson kayaks, there's some mound of something here in place, so you don't have all your floor space. That's kind of my biggest drawback from that Jackson. But that thing just come out, so it'll be another year or two before you can get some decent prices in the used market. Whereas these Hobie Pro Anglers, they've been on the market for 10 years or so now. You can find a ton of options in the used market for them. Same with the Outback and the Revo and all those. So I'm all about saving some money on these kayaks. I hate, unless it's like Old Town sending me a kayak or something, I hate buying a new kayak because you can get one a few months old. Somebody tried it out once and stuck it in their garage, didn't like it, and save $1,000, Daniel Silcott just hit me with another $1.99. He says, how tough are the pedal drives to pedal? Thank you for that super chat. Not hard at all, Daniel. It's really the Mirage drive and the bicycle motion pedal drives like your Jackson and your Old Town and Wilderness Systems. They're different muscle groups. So like the Hobie pedal drive's a stepping motion. So when you're really stepping hard, you'll feel it more like in here. Whereas the bicycle motion, not so much. But I mean, you can pedal either style very casually and easily hit 3 miles an hour, 3 to 3.5 miles an hour. So you really don't have to exert yourself. Honestly, exerting yourself with the pedal drives, you will get more speed, but your increase in speed versus your increase in exertion, you have to exert yourself a lot more for minimal speed increase, if that makes sense. James Cardwell says, YouTube has something going on. I've got other channels I've been subscribed to for 3 or 4 years and not getting notifications from them. So far, I've got all of your... Hey, at least you're still getting mine, James. I'll take it. Tough break for them other channels, but I'm glad you're still being notified about mine. It's every man for himself in the YouTube world. Hey, Catfish Terry hit me with 99-cent super sticker there. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate that, buddy. He didn't leave a comment with it, though. Art Vance drove to California to get his Hobie from Arizona. Yeah, I drove to Middle Tennessee when I bought this one. I bought this one from a viewer. He cut me a deal on it. He sold it to me for $2,500. And it had some accessories with it, which I've sold most of. I sold like $400 worth of accessories. So I was in at least the hull of this kayak for $2,100, which these kayaks now, I think they're about $4,000 new. So pretty good deal. But this is a 2017 model that I have here. A little bit older, but I mean, Hobie really hasn't changed anything on these Pro Anglers in the last several years. The logo on the side's different, which I could care less about. And I think the newer models have that Guardian transducer mount, so you can pull a cord and drop your transducer under the kayak so you can do like side scan and stuff, which this one don't have, but I could care less. I put my side scan transducer in that mount when I want to run it, so not a big deal. James Shuey says, someone I haven't seen in here yet is my mom. Yeah, her and my dad went to, where'd they say they were going? I think they were going to Sweetwater this morning, I think. Doing shopping or something down there. My dad probably had to go to Relocating, and my mom probably had to hit some antique stores. But they out shopping today, so they won't be in here this morning. G-Man52 says, what's your opinion on Ugly Stick rods? Just picked up a new combo with PC Fun Chouse. I don't know how to say that. The Ugly Stick rods are great, man. I used them for, gosh, from the time I started catfishing up until last year when I started working with Catfish Sumo. So long damn time. And great rods. When we designed my signature series rod, I wanted a little bit more backbone and a little stiffer tip than the Ugly Sticks, but Ugly Sticks are great. You can't beat an Ugly Stick for the money. Value-wise, they're the best value of a rod on the market. I saw another one pop up. There's Adventures with Bradley. Keep a hot rod. I hope I'm saying that right. $5. He says, got to say thanks for YouTube channel showing how to catch big cats. Helped me get my PB 40-pound blue cat. Awesome, man. That's a big fish. Congrats. And thank you for the super chat. You know, it always amazes me, y'all. I get people commenting and stuff, and back when I had like messenger stuff turned on Facebook, all that's turned off now. It's 'cause the volume was insane. But I've got all kinds of messages and comments and emails and stuff of people telling me thanks, you know, that I've helped them catch big fish, or they enjoy watching the videos. It's brought them and their son or daughter or grandkids or whatever closer together, and it's helped their lives in some way. And I always think back to my previous career before YouTube was, you know, I was a nurse, and gosh, I could probably count on one hand how many thank you cards I got as a nurse throughout my whole career, you know, and actually doing stuff to truly help people's lives in their time of need. And it's just amazing. I can go fishing on camera and get so much positive feedback from it when I couldn't at my old job. What a world we live in, right? Hey, Joe Preston in the house. What's going on? Roman Maroney says, Richard Jean, Creek Fishing Adventures, and Justin are the best YouTube fishermen in my opinion. They tell you what they are fishing with and how they're fishing it. Well, thanks. I appreciate you putting me in that group right there. Richard Jean, his video, I've been watching his videos for years, and Creek Fishing Adventures, there, John, I'm friends with him. I've fished with him before, and he's a really good dude. Really, I don't know Richard Jean. I'd reached out to him a couple years back and never got a response, but John I personally know, and he's a really good dude, really good person. Hope to fish with him again here at some point soon. He had reached out to me to go fishing. I think he was going down Spring City and fishing, and asked if I wanted to join him, but I was dealing with the sciatica at that point in time, and I just couldn't go on a long trip, you know. John does a lot of like floats and stuff. Like he'll launch at one place of a creek and then take out at another, and I just couldn't sit in a kayak for a long period of time at that point. But hopefully him and I are going to hook up again at some point this year. I might have been imagining things again. Yeah, I may have been. Bit like that line right there. I don't know. I'm imagining things, I guess. Don't pay no attention to me, y'all. Apostolic says, Justin, when did you actually start your channel? I think my first video clips were posted in late 2015. I wasn't really running a channel. I was out of storage space and needed a place to park some video clips. I think it was late 2016 I started like posting more videos, like actual fishing videos. So several years now. There's Art, 1 Ton Fishing Club, said Justin. Any advice for a big guy looking for kayaks? He's 6'3", 390 pounds. Well, there's some kayaks on the market that would handle the weight there, Art. The Native Titan is got a high weight capacity. The New Canoe, I hate New Canoe, but the New Canoe Frontier and Unlimited, and that one was getting hit right there, Art. Left rod. I'm going to let him eat it, and I ain't saying nothing about Oklahoma or Texas. That line's tight. Look at this one. Now this one's getting hit. I thought that rod got hit a minute ago. I got 2 rods that's got a little action going on, guys. I kind of want to pick up on both. Both had a little tension. I'm gonna just that one there, that line's tight. Let me put the camera in the chest a second here. Nobody mentioned Oklahoma or Texas, okay? So every time we do, we end up losing a fish here. Let me see if he's just sitting there with it maybe. No, that ain't there. That ain't there. Let's see about this one now. No. Doggone it. I had fish around. Crap far. I ain't crazy, y'all. Both them rods was getting worked. Y'all saw it with your own eyes. These fish are being difficult. It may have been some old channel cat or something. I'm surprised we ain't had some channel cats in here working this. I'm gonna refresh some bait though. I probably need to refresh these others over here on the right side too. But I don't know how long it's been now since I guess it's probably been 45 minutes to an hour since we moved back here to get in the shade. Maybe longer than that. Hell, I don't know how long we've been live now. All right. Let's just go ahead and reel this one in too. Them fish were over there by it and they've maybe ate all that pack bait and they may not come back for just the corn, you know. Y'all bear with me. I could put the camera in another mount, but then y'all be staring right at my crotch again. People didn't like that earlier. I'll tell you what, while we rebaiting, let's go ahead and get these two. If we're gonna do it, let's just do it right. We'll get everything rebaited and I'll tighten up these other lines here. Caught a weed there. That corn right there got all jacked up, didn't it? All right. Bombs away. There's a stick over there I threw across on that, and you watch and see, we'll get hit on that and it'll run me right into a snag. I'm gonna rebait this one too. I thought for sure this one being cast up on the shoreline over there. That's my biggest surprise of the morning, is the fact that the one rod cast closest to the shoreline ain't getting hit. I know carp has been working that other area over there where I've cast it to, because I can see where it was all muddied up where they had been. There wouldn't be nothing else that would have muddied up one little section of the water over there. All right. Yeah, let's tighten up these lines. All right, y'all. I think we're back in business now. Let's do a little bit more chat boxing here. How far behind did I get when I was rebaiting everything? Oh, anyway, yeah, I was answering Art's question there about the larger kayaks. So the New Canoe, garbage kayaks, but they have a high weight capacity. The Jackson Big Rig is another one. And there was the Big Tuna they had. I don't know if they still make the Big Tuna, but it also had a high weight capacity. The Hobie Pro Angler has a pretty high weight capacity on the kayak, but I think the seat capacity is like 375, I think. What's the other one? I thought there was another kayak that had a high weight capacity. I know the Native Titan does. I would say the Native Titan or the Jackson Big Rid's probably going to be your best bet there, Art. I think there's another one too. My brain's fried. I can't remember. Let's see. G-Man, no, I don't catch a lot of yellow perch. I would if I caught them more, I would use them as live bait for sure. I just don't catch a lot of them. Kevin's Trophy Catting and Bassin says buffalo bites. Maybe. There could be some buffalo in here. I'd like to catch one. Mike Laney, that's a good question. No, I've never used the tomatoes in deep water. Just been in the shallows and creeks and coves and stuff when I've used them. But I do kind of want to hook a tomato on one of my catfish rigs when I go out, just to see when I'm suspending baits if I could get bit on it. I'm really curious, because for whatever reason, them cats, I thought the carp would. I was told the grass carp and buffalo and stuff would eat tomatoes. I didn't really think blue cats would, but by gosh, they have. Blew my mind. Jim White, no, I don't have any plans to come to Hoover in Ohio. I had plans to go up there, but that's when I wrecked the car, hit that stupid deer, and messed all that up. So I don't know if I'll make it back up there or not. Hey, Tony Jessen, thanks for the thumbs up, buddy. Trendkill 91 says I got turtled. Possibly, yeah. It's very possible. It's hard to throw out cut bait in these shallow waters, because them turtles are on it just instantly. They don't mess with my fake corn, but I'm sure they're over there eating the pack bait. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Bob. I appreciate you watching and super chatting and moderating for me. You're a good man, Bob. Tony's watching me, and The Price is Right. That's awesome, man. I do think The Price is Right was better when Bob Barker was there. Nothing against Drew Carey, but It's hard to replace Bob Barker. Hey, thanks, Philip Yance. I appreciate that, man. Spitchy Poo says, when am I ever coming to Middle Tennessee? No plans right now, but I'm sure I'll make it out there at some point. Kevin's Trophy Catting and Bassin says he used to fish for buffs in Austin, Texas. His biggest is 49.4 pounds. I'm actually going down there in November to fish for buffalo with Austin Anderson. I got a trip booked in November. Hell, I done forgot the dates. It's mid-November. November 10. I'm fishing with him 3 days in mid-November. I'm looking forward to it, though. He catches them big old buffalo down there. Nathan Parton says, best fish finder for the money, whichever's on sale at Bass Pro. Lowrance, Humminbird, for the various price tiers, they're all about the same quality-wise. So I just get whichever one's on sale. Y'all, I fear we're about to lose our live stream. We got that sun beaming down, and I got a feeling my camera's going to overheat again here, my phone. We've already overheated once, and it wasn't near as hot then as it is now. If it don't go behind a cloud, we're going to be in trouble. Upstate Angler said he figured I was getting power poles. Yeah, they back here. They've been a big help today. I couldn't have fished this area without them today. Keith said he started watching me in early 2017. I don't know how you're still watching this long, Keith. I admire your dedication. It's all I can do to edit these videos is I got to watch myself on the camera. It's like, I don't know how anybody can sit through this crap. Salty's Digital Dive says, what kind of hooks are you using? Lots of new designs hitting the market. Well, today I'm using ESP hair rigs. If you're asking about my catfish hooks, though, I normally use Mustad Demon Circles. Kevin's Trophy Cat and Bassin says he knows Austin out there. So he's a good bass kid too. Yeah, he seems like a hell of a guide. I mean, and his prices for the guide service really isn't bad. I mean, 3 full days on the water. He provides all the camping gear and all that. He's baiting prior to getting there. I mean, it's a pretty good deal. But I just want to learn. My main reason for wanting to go out there and fish with him is to learn, because I see buffalo all the time. I'll see them coming up like out of the water, splashing. When I'm carp fishing and stuff, I'll see them cruising along the shoreline, but I just don't catch them. I have no idea what I'm doing. I got one there, that last carp video I done, I caught a buffalo. But you would think with the number of buffalo that are out here, I would just luck into them occasionally, and I just don't. So I want to go down there and learn and see if I can apply what I learned from him here on the home waters. Let's see. We got Brian, my man Brian, new Catfish Club member. He's helping me pronounce his name. He said he's paid me $5 to help me pronounce his name. He says it's pronounced S-T Stivers. Brian Stivers. Okay. I got it down, Brian. Now, unfortunately, I'm terrible with names, so if it's another 2 weeks to a month before I go live again, I'm probably going to butcher it the next time, but I will get it eventually. I'm sorry I've butchered it earlier. I think I called him everything but Stivers. Oh, my man, JP Du Toit is giving me 35 ZAR. We've done the conversions on this before when JP has watched, and I can't remember how it works out. But he sent me a super sticker, and I appreciate you, JP. I appreciate you watching. All these people watching me from all over the world. It's amazing to me. I keep hoping that the carp fishing is going to bust me into the European and English markets, and British markets. But even just the normal catfishing, I get people from New Zealand, Sweden. We've had Sweden in here today, Germany, South Africa shows up all the time. It's amazing. Just watch all over the world. Who would have ever thunk it? I mean, I'm old enough, y'all, that we didn't have, when I was a kid, there was no internet. We didn't have cell phones as a kid. I mean, I can remember us having like a phone with a cord in it that you, like a rotary and stuff. And here we are. I mean, I'm 40 now. I'm showing my age, but I mean, when I was a kid, who would have ever thought that I would be out on the water holding up a cell phone, which didn't exist when I was a kid, and talking to people all over the world? I mean, and not just talking to them, but people tuning in to watch me not catch fish right here. It's amazing. What a world that we live in. Crazy, crazy times. I think we get, and I'm bad about this, I get so wrapped up in technology. Just the day to day, here goes another gar coming over here to flip us a bird. That's a different one than we saw earlier. But we take for granted sometimes the amount of technology we have and how it's improved our lives. And I mean, I can remember when I was a kid, like pen pal was a thing, right? So like you would write a letter like on paper with an ink pen and mail it to somebody across we did that in school. You would like mail it to somebody across the country to learn about them. And now pen pal, that's the thing of the past. Now you just get online. You can talk to anybody anywhere in the world at any given time. Crazy, crazy stuff, man. Crazy times when you really think about it. All right, I'm off my tangent here. Let's get back to some questions here. Brady Parrish says, have you ever used Cajun red fishing line? I've got it on my catfishing reels. I hate it. It's garbage. The Cajun line's terrible. We got Adam G says, you put out good content whether you think so or not. You're about the only fishing channel I watch. He's been watching since 2019. Wow. He says, they don't catch many lives, but I've seen almost all your videos. Well, thank you, Adam. 3 years he's been watching me, folks. Long time viewer. Cody Johnson says, you coming to Oklahoma to carp fish? No, probably not. Probably won't go out there. If I go out there, I'll probably do some catfishing. Kevin says, I bet y'all are going to Lake Austin or Lake Decker. Don't say. I think we're actually going to Lake Fork, I think is the plan. I think I'm flying into Dallas, I think is the plan. If I don't end up driving, if the plane situation's better, I'll probably just fly because it's a long drive. But I think Lake Fork is the plan. Unless something changes between now and then, Kevin. Now here's Catman from Mexico. I'm telling you people, all over the world. Average Gamer with a 5 spot. He says, love the content. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you, Average Gamer. Appreciate your support, man. Pontoon Jody says she can see the gar really good. I don't know where he went. That's 2 gar, though. It's just swam up right over here to get a front row seat to this live stream where we're not catching. How is it possible, y'all? We started out, catching fish right away and haven't drawn any more in with all the bait out there. How long have we been live now? We've been live over 2 hours. And the fish that we caught come in the first half hour of the show. I don't know. Definitely not an active day. I'm definitely not in the right place. God dang it, sun's beaming down. I'm going to turn this way, y'all. I'm fearful we're going to overheat. What time is it? It's after 11. There's Jeff 3056, his new viewer from Utah. No real catfish in here. Well, thanks for watching the show anyway, even if you don't have catfish there. Oh, spammer. I got them hit on that one. Heck yeah. That was fast. I beat the moderators to the punch on that one. James Shuey says, We need to get Daniel to come out with Catfish Sumo brand fishing line in both mono and braided. James Shuey, I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I ain't, but stay tuned. Your wish is Daniel's command. I'll leave it at that. Big things coming. Alan Edwards says, hi Justin, I'm in the UK, been watching your channel for years now. My best carp is 20 pounds, 2 ounces. Awesome, man, that's a big carp. Thanks for watching all the way from the UK. Great Outdoors says, how's the neighbors been? They've been great because I got that fence up. I don't see their stupid asses anymore. I see the top of that RV that the Clampetts are living in. But that's about all I see now. Adam G 499, he says, got to get back to work. Good luck out there today. Well, thank you, Adam. I ain't going to stay live much longer. I'm going to pack up, and I'm wanting to try something catfishing here before I go in today. Dewey's hooked me up with some info I'm going to go try out before I call it a day. But I ain't going to fish till about 12 or 1 total. Be too hot after that. Brian says, that's saying something, Justin. Jody's pretty quick blocking me. Yeah, she's going to. Jody's moderator of the day for sure. I'm glad I hired her today. She ain't getting paid a dime, but she's worth every penny. Chris Martin says, how's the fishing? Just tuned in. Well, it started out well. We got a couple fish right away, lost another one, and then not much happening since. Gerald Ricketts, first time on the live stream. Glad to have you, man. Eric Phillips says, you going to fish with chat cats again? Yeah, I hope to. Well, we're talking about fishing together again in the fall. Justin Statham says, move to a shady spot. Ain't no more shade left, man. It's 11 o'clock. The only shade we're getting now is when it goes behind a cloud. Shade's done. It's done till this evening. Josiah Van Fleet says, hi, my name is Zeke and I am 10. Been watching since he came out with my channel. Started in 26, about 6 years now I've been doing YouTube. He's been watching since he was 4 years old, y'all. He's been literally watching me his whole life. How about that? Thanks for watching, Zeke. Keep It Country said I should collaborate with Hannah Barron, do some noodling. I ain't got no interest in noodling, but she's a pretty girl I wouldn't mind collaborating with. Kevin said he hadn't seen Becca on YouTube in a long time. Anyone heard from her? I haven't seen her in a long time either. I hope she's doing okay. I need to send her an email. Brian says he needs to wait to see. You can post pictures on my Facebook page there, Brian. On my business page. I don't do anything with a personal page. I got a personal page, but I don't do nothing with it. But my business page, there's a place to post pictures. Joe Smith says, love your channel. Appreciate that, Joe. Well, y'all, we've been live almost 3 hours now and got bit right away. I might have got out here kind of at the tail end of a morning bite or something. I don't know. I got out on the water kind of late today. I slept a little longer. But there ain't been hardly anything going on here in the last really couple hours. I think I'm gonna pack it up here in a little bit, at least the carp gear, and go try a different kind of catfishing today. Again, my friend Dewey, he lives around here. Hell of a fisherman. And he tells me stuff. You know, he's took a liking to me for whatever reason. He told me about them stinger flies. He said, Justin, use these flies, you're going to catch a bunch of extra fish. And, you know, I put them on, and, well, I'm catching a bunch of extra fish because of them. And he told me about a bite he got on. If it wasn't Dewey telling me, I'd never believed it, but I'm going to go try it. And he told me exactly where he's getting them at and stuff. And I told him, I'm like, Dewey, I'm going to burn that spot to the ground, you know, if I film a video. He's like, go film a video there. It'll make an awesome video. So if that bite he got on is still happening, I'm going to film a video today, if I can keep a GoPro running. And so I'm going to pack up his carp gear, I guess, and and go try that out. We'll see. If it happens, it's going to be a hell of a video. If it don't happen, well, it was just a lucky bite to do his own, I guess. Crazy things, man. But it's like it. You know, you spend enough time on the water, crazy things are going to happen. But I think I probably will wrap up this live stream. I'm so fearful with that sun out, my phone's going to overheat again. It overheated 2 hours ago, and it's a mess trying to use technology in the heat. But anyway, guys, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks to everybody who tuned in today. Thanks to everybody who super chatted me. Special thanks to my moderators who is doing your part, you know, to keep the spammers out. Hopefully YouTube will get it fixed, but in the meantime, I got a good group of moderators. Big thanks to Pontoon Jody. She's my newest moderator. She's been keeping that chat box zipping all morning, so thank you, Jody. But I don't know. We'll go live again soon here, y'all. I'd hope to be live at least once a week all summer long, but the heat has been so bad lately. When it's 90 plus degrees, unless you're fishing at night, it's just hard to keep a camera rolling without overheating. And a lot of the places I fish too just don't have good cell service. And that's a limiting factor. Like that last place where I did the carp video, I'd sank that bait and was just catching them nonstop. Would have been awesome to go live there while I was catching all them fish, but 1 bar service, you know. So just ain't going to happen. But hopefully we'll go live again here soon. I enjoy it. I enjoy not having to edit when I get home. That's a big help too. And yeah, so anyway. Oh, well, hold on, y'all. Hold on. We got another one here. Lake Trout King, $4.99. He said, my sons Noah and Mason are huge supporters of your channel. Loved when you caught them that bluegill a while back. Would love a shout out. Absolutely. Noah and Mason, thanks for watching. I hate that you're tuning in right as I'm ending the stream, but I'm glad to have you. Thank you so much. All right, well, there's Will Loy in the house too. What's going on, Will? We got everybody tuning in here, but I'm going to get off here anyway. I really want to go try Dewey's tactic over here before it gets too hot, because I'm only going to fish till probably about 1 o'clock today, and then I'm going to be over it. It's going to be too damn hot. So anyway, y'all, I'll see you next time. Thank you again to everybody who super chatted me and tuned in today, and special thanks to the moderators. We'll do it again soon.